Good day, my friend. Let me thank you for joining us, and let me first say, as people are wont to do, please subscribe to this. Oh, and make sure, if you're listening to me, if you're listening to this on a mobile app, you've got to hit the more section. Apparently, YouTube has changed the distinction or the way people view things. So a lot of the stuff that you could see upon looking at a title has been moved. So please hit more. Hit that little more number to see all of our sponsors and our information and how you can be more participatory. So we thank you for that. Let me get down to brass tacks. I'm a private person. Now, I know you may say, what? This is all an act. I don't mean any of this. I kid, of course. This is my news performance. This is, I perform news, analysis, critique, observation, kind of like Andy Rooney. Andy Rooney was really, people kind of laughed at him, but that's exactly what I like doing, pointing things out and saying, you know what, did you notice this? By the way, great word today, and my word for the day, which I so recommend to you. Cryptomnesia. Crypto, C-R-Y-P-T-O, M, the letter amnesia. The phenomenon of not recognizing the return of an old memory as a product of memory, but instead regarding it as a new or original thought or idea. So thinking, hey, I've got this idea. No, it's an old thought. I love that. Cryptomnesia. There's there's deja vu where you say, hey, I think I've been here before. Then the other one is thinking that this is new. No, thinking that it's new when in fact it's old. It's the obvious. Anyway, there are words for that. I love that. Love that. But I'm a private person. I talk about me, Mrs. L. That's it. That's it. Do you know when members of my family have died? No. Do you know about any particular physical maladies? No. If I get a hip replacement, no. You're not going to hear about it. You're not going to hear about it. First of all, I don't want to bore people. Second, it's none of your business. It's none of your business. I'm the only person who thinks that. I saw this one today. Ready for this? And I realized there's a theme that's going on. And the first thing I do is I pick up themes. This is big in the world of social media. And it goes something like this. Somebody sits, young lady or a woman, usually a woman, sits, takes a picture using about 20 filters. By the way, there's a very funny story about a sort of a notable who was seen out without her filters. She looks like 20 years old. It's not facelifts, it's filters. People see somebody for the first time, they go, nah. You think, that's it? You look like that? This is it, baby. This is it. Because I don't care. I don't care what you think. This is the way I look. Ta-da! I don't care what you think. I don't care. No offense to you, and I'm sure you feel the same way. I don't even care what you look like. There was a recent picture I saw of Rick Beato with Steve Lukather. Steve Lukather stopped with that vampire dye job. He looks great. What's wrong with gray hair? I don't understand it. I'm getting the Polly Walnuts look there. Great. That's me. That's it. You don't seem to mind it. I don't seem to mind it. Well, anyway, here's this thing I saw. Picture taken. Obviously, look how sexy I am through the filters. And it's like, good morning, everyone. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're so beautiful. I'm thinking, am I seeing this? Facebook is the worst. Facebook I don't even know what that. Oh, look what I'm having. Oh, you're so beautiful. What is this? Do you like my new glasses? Oh God, you're so beautiful. Who are these people? What is this? You know how they have a bucket list? I got a bucket list. I've always wanted to do this. This is my. I don't have a bucket list. I don't even have a bucket. I don't want to. No. I had somebody the other day tell me, say, oh, and then we went to Mykonos, and then we went to that. I said, can you just show me a picture of it? Yeah, I don't want to go there. Just show me what it's like. It's water. Is that it? Is that what it looks like? Okay, I got it. Can I tell you something? And I've never been there. I mean, there are reasons I want to see this other than this, but my favorite is, hey, look, there's the there's the Eiffel Tower. Look, I'm standing in front of it, like everybody since the beginning of time. I'm doing it. I'm standing there. It exists. You thought this was a prop. No. I finally went. Now you can rest assured, yes, it exists. I swear to you. If I haven't been to Paris, I'd like to go. But I'd like to go, like, to see, like, where do the people in the outskirts live? Where do they, like, I don't, I'm going to have a croissant. Oh, my God. Really? No. I want to get, like, in a car and go and say, where do the locals go? Let's go to some funky place. Let's see I want to see the way people live, not this stuff. Anyway, make a long story short. So, I don't get this. The other day, a friend of mine has a hip or knee or something. And by the way, have you noticed that when we were kids, none of our parents ever had... Did you know anybody who ever had a hip replacement or a knee replacement when you were a kid? Did you? What? Their hips didn't wear out? My parents never exercised a day in their life. Ever. Hips were fine. I don't know it. I didn't have an aunt, an uncle, a neighbor, a cousin. Nobody. People had arthritis, maybe, but I don't remember anybody with a cane. The old people with the walkers, they used to have those tennis balls in the bottom. I never saw those. I never saw one. We had maybe a cane. Did you ever see this when you were kids? It's like as soon as they made the device, more people had the malady. Nobody had the device until I don't understand this. I find that fascinating. How does that work? I never saw anybody who, my favorite is and this again is brilliant design. Let's have the walker, but where you can sit on it. A little seat. You put your stuff in it. You push it. It's got handbrakes. Hey, this is great. Brilliant. We never saw those. Did you ever have a relative? Did you ever have a relative that said, oh, how's your Uncle Joe doing? Well, not very well. He hasn't been outside in 5 years. Why? Well, he can't walk. And there are no devices that allow him. Cane doesn't work. If only we had some kind of a walker device or something that... Never saw that. Never saw it. But here's the one that gets me. This is the one that gets me. And I'm sorry. I hope I'm not offending anyone, but when people put pictures of their parents or loved ones in the hospital, in extremis, during the last throes of their existence, they're like this. We're trying to get the hand, I don't know what to say about that. I do not know I cannot say that. 10 years ago, you left my life. I miss you every day. Life is not this. On Facebook? You're doing this on Facebook? Feel that way. Go to the cemetery. Pray. You're on Facebook? And then people like it? I like that. Wait a minute. I just poured my soul. What? Even the emotions are inconsistent. You like the fact that my heart is broken? What? Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know. Come on. Give me. Show me. Narcissism. Come on, show me. It's all about me. Show me how I feel my... It's about me, not their loss. Not my siblings who lost their parent as well, or the contributions, or not even a tribute to... No, it's about me. I'm trying to get through. I'm trying to get through. Why are people doing this? The same reason why people have anxiety all the time. I can't go. You don't understand. I've got anxiety. I couldn't go back to work. Why? I've got anxiety. What do you mean you got anxiety? I don't know. I just... What has happened to us? You will never, ever, ever, ever see anything involving family, loss, death. Never. Unless it's about me, but only in relationship to talking about news or stories or whatever. Maybe sometimes some funny stuff, some observations, some things that were just... I have people here in New York who love to think they're rich. And they always do this. I'm going to the Hamptons. Are you going to the Hamptons? Where are you going? Do you ever have... Maybe it's you. I never... Growing up, nobody ever had a place they went to. Here in New York, do you have a home you're going to? Yes. We're going to the Hamptons. Oh, and the Hamptons is like 400 square miles of, I don't know how they, whatever. Why are you telling me this? I never knew anyone. I knew people in money and growing up. This is your home. You want a vacation. But nobody has an extra home. That's a big thing here, or so they say. But they want to tell you this. So what I did one time was I took a picture of an old Airstream. You know those like trailers. You know, it was like pink and it was rusty and it was in the back of a truck. I just saw it. So I put it up on Facebook and I made the story up. And I made the story about how me and Mrs. L take our June bug, and we give it a name. Like I named my computers called Shoe Baby, after Dutch Mantel and his whip, Shoe Baby. Anyway, but this is like June bug, or give it a name. And I wrote this story about how we like to go to someplace as close to the Hamptons as possible, and we'll go into a parking lot or something, and we'll break into a power line to run the electricity, and the plumbing's a problem, but we love the Hamptons, and the Hamptons is glorious and living the life, and it's obviously a joke. You have to have absolutely no sense of humor whatsoever not to realize immediately it's a joke. And people would say, that's great. We like the Hamptons too. Here's our place. And I'm thinking, did you not? They had to piggyback on my joke with their attempt at reality. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't know how to say this. I wrote one time and said, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad today. I can't believe it. I never thought pet death would affect me though so much. I can't believe, and I'm writing this out. Obviously, anybody who knows me, they know it's a joke. I can't believe it. I can't get out of bed. I can't move. Whatever. It's a loss. And you may laugh. It's a goldfish. And it was 48 years ago. But still, there isn't a day that goes by. Here I am lamenting, paralyzed by grief over a goldfish that died 48 years ago. Now, if you can't see that's a joke, there's no hope for you. Sure enough, I'm so sorry. Here's my dog. Again, piggybacking. My collie, this is my dog, and listen to me, and listen. Do not put pictures of your children on social media. There's one guy, I'm not going to mention, he's one of these influencer, kind of just had a baby, Here's my baby. Looks like this. Don't do it. Don't even tell people. You get some lunatic out there who doesn't like what you say. Is that baby you like? Well, let's see about that. Who knows? Leave them out of it. When kids are playing in the backyard, in their little bathing suits, leave it off. That's there forever. What is the matter with you? One day during toilet training or in the bathtub, what are you doing? This child is one day going to try to get that clerkship one day, and somebody's going to run when, oh my God, AI is going to go deep searching, and you're going to say, is this you? Oh my God. I didn't even know that was up there. Did your mother put this up? Apparently you like to eat mud pies, is that it? Well, I was a kid. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? Never put your children. Never put where you live. Never. I know people in the, you're going to love this. This gets me. I know one guy in the business, kind of a little controversial, shows a picture of his daughter wearing her uniform, but he wanted to brag because she's going to private school with the name of her school and her face and every little thing about her life. How she lost a tooth, her brother's name, the dog they just adopted, So God forbid some lurid person comes up and says, hey, your mom and dad aren't going to be able to pick you up, but they sent me. You're little Megan, aren't you? Hey, did you lose your tooth? Congratulations on... And you've just given the script to the world. Because people don't think. Why? Because their narcissism, it commands them. My friends, let's do a prayer. All right? Let's do it. Call this a prayer. Call this a moment of insight or introspection. Either grasp your hands, clasp your hands, bow your head, do whatever you want. And repeat after me. I am nothing. I am a speck in the universe. I am an ort, a flake. I am a grain, a dab of dust in this celestial whatever. I am not going to take myself too seriously. I am one of many. Whatever talents I have are minimal. If I'm talented at this, it just means on the whole, based upon the average, I tend to do this better than these people. And that's not saying much. Humility. Pray in quiet. The Bible says so. Pray in peace. Pray in quiet. Pray in solitude. Don't put your name on something you've donated to. If you're going to donate to your school, your alma mater, don't name don't put your name there. Oh, for God's sake, why are you doing this? Live anonymously. When you want to donate to something, do it quietly. Show some respect. Show some class. It's not about you. Amen. Okay? Let me think about that one. Oh, you have no idea. And wait till you see what really got me going for this today. What got me going. Now, let me talk about something which is really groovy. Now, listen to me. You have to go, and if you're watching this on a mobile app or something, you're going to have to go, and you're going to have to look under the more section. Hit more, because this is below. Because right now, how are you feeling? Right now, this is the time. Oh my gosh. This is the time. We've got more immunodeficiency disorders. Oh, not to mention poor diet. You know your diet's not that great. Lack of sleep. Adverse reactions to God knows what. Plus the environment you live in and the stress and the worry. That's why, folks, I highly recommend a bottle of this elixir called Z-Stack. And I suggest you try this immediately. And why? Well, a couple of things. First of all, it's more than just your immune system. The idea that in bases you have phytonutrients that are bioavailable, and I don't have to tell you what I think about them, okay? This is zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D. Oh my God, vitamin D, incredible. And plant-based nutrients like quercetin, bioflavonoids. These are these wonderful. Remember what an antioxidant does? It neutralizes. It tries to disrupt free radicals. Remember free radicals? You got electrons, boop, one's cleaved off. Then you've got one that's empty, looking for something, looking to be paired, looking to be made whole. That's the danger. That's what it is. This neutralizes it. Free radicals, baby. Errant electrons. In any event, you go right now and use this link. 15% off of Z-Stack for yourself and your kids. And do it before they sell out. And do it right now and use this URL. And again, you've got to go and hit that more button. You got to hit that more than the greatest of. Do that. Do that, okay? Just remember, there's so much you can be doing. I know nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody wants to talk about this. But eating, food, diet, you can do so much to make yourself better. Can I also tell you something off the subject? A little bit of advice. I'm going to tell you something you're not going to want to hear, but I'm going to tell you this because I love you. Eat when you want to. Eat when you're hungry. Not because everybody's there. Not because it's 6 o'clock. When you're invited someplace and you're saying, oh, don't order a meal because everybody's doing, what are you, a grazing animal? What is this? Look at people and say, I'm not hungry. What? What? The other day we did something. I forget, we went someplace. I go, I'm not hungry. I am not hungry. I don't want to eat anything. You don't want to eat? Don't try something. I don't want to try. I'm not hungry. They look at you like, what? Try it. And the more they told me, the more I said, I'm not budging. I'm not hungry. I eat when I'm hungry. Don't you? Well, no, because people eat by the clock. It's the weirdest thing. What about this one? Hey, can I get you some wine? No thanks. What? No thanks. I mean, maybe some wine. You want a drink? Maybe a little beers? No, that's all right. Why not? I just don't want to drink. You don't drink. I didn't say I didn't drink. And you ever see that? They go crazy. Well, don't you want to try something? Like me? I'm drinking. I don't have a problem. Why aren't you drinking? Have you seen that before? It's the weirdest thing. Don't tell people that they have to drink. Another switch to this. If you have stopped drinking, maybe because you had to, good for you, don't tell people your own particular success. We had a friend of ours. I haven't seen her in a while. She sounded like. I'm not going to go too much into detail. She's sort of famous, but whatever. But she sounded like Mr. Howell, and she talked like this, sort of. And it was a New Year's Eve party, and they're pouring the Prosecco. And they said, would you like some? Oh, no, thank you. No, I've been sober for 50 years. Oh, okay, that's great. You know, my sponsor said, your what? My sponsor, my AA sponsor. Oh, okay. Anybody else want any Prosecco? You say, I used to drink. And she went into this thing about how she conquered drinking and people don't know they're alcoholics at a party when people are drinking. Don't do that. Keep it quiet. Don't put pictures of yourself. Don't tell people what you do. Don't do it. I don't give people lectures. When somebody says, would you please pass the lard? Of course. Do they want to hear my lectures on bacon and nitrite? No. I don't tell them. It's none of my business. Here, it's my life. It's yours. Keep your mouth shut. What's the matter? It's not just virtue signaling, it's obtrusive. Do you know that? Have you had people like that who they always want to tell you something? Or they want to talk politics. Or it's like, I don't care what people think. I do care the fact that there's only 124 likes here. I don't know what's going on. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? I like when somebody also tries to figure, somebody mentioned not eating. Limited fasting, this has been around forever. Why are you saying this? Well, I just want to, I'm on limited fasting. A new thing on the internet apparently now is seed oils. Oh, no, seed oils. Seed oils. Oh, you're an expert on seed. Oh, yes. Okay. You're an expert on seed oils. Well, that's good. I guess that's good. I got no problem with that. I love when they all of a sudden they're instant experts. Why are you? It's like people sometimes they find religion all of a sudden after a pretty bad part of their life, and they're like Billy Graham all the time. It's like, all right, take it easy. Now, very quickly, I want to tell you about this other group too. I love this. But remember, you've got to look below that. You got to hit that more button if you're listening to this on your phone. This is the one that I tell people, and they go, what? You know what I'm talking about? EMPs. How do you spell EMP, by the way? EMPs right now, electromagnetic pulses. Do I have to tell you what damage that poses? Well, try virtually everything that you can plug in or use of any consequences. Remember the Carrington event class? Remember this? We've been talking about EMPs and reading about this. I asked you one time. You knew. Most people don't. Well, there's a group called EMP Shield, and I want you to use this link right now. This is they invented a device that hooks up to your vehicle or your home and it will protect you. By the way, they've also undergone testing with Keystone Compliance, which is a military certified facility and is listed by the Department of Homeland Security. And what this does is it doesn't just protect your vehicle and your home, but your generator, solar system. You know how many ham radio operators? Ham radio is critical. Whenever we need civil defense, and that ham radio is critical. I love ham radio, folks. They're your RVs and much, much more. So for your safety and your families, look at this. Go to this link right now, this link that I provided, and it is the most important thing you can possibly do. EMP Shield, it makes complete and total sense. Now, another thing I want to tell people, if we had a contest, I don't know how we could do this, to see who could get the most boring person to show up on your TV show, I would love that. Whatever you do, my dear friends, remember, let's go back to our prayer. Either bow your head, vow to yourself that you are not going to be boring. You are not going to be boring. When you go to a party, to an event, when you're at a table, when you're meeting new people, try your best to do the following. And remember, I'm telling you this. This is the greatest trick ever. Ask them questions. Don't be too inquisitive, like you're do some kind of interrogation. But ask them more questions about what they think. People love to talk about themselves. Not like, so. And you voted for, how much do you make? No. But ask these people about them, their lives, their perspective. It's far more interesting than you telling people about yourself. You have no idea how many people sit there and tell me about things I've never asked for, ever. Oh, another thing. Maybe you can help me with it, because as you know, I scour social media, picking up trends and the like. And when the short came along, I liked them. They're kind of interesting. Sometimes you'll see a short. I've seen now 50. I watched The Sopranos, and I can't believe it was, 24 years ago, I guess, maybe that it. I don't even remember. When the To me, The Sopranos are as alive today. They ended in 2007. Wow. June 10th, 2007. The final episode. You know, we happened to... the final episode was in a place called Holston's. And we drive by it all the time. Holston's is in Bloomfield, New Jersey, on Broad Street. And it's this little place, this little dive, so to speak. It's not a dive, but it's an old ice cream place where the Sopranos were. Anyway, so I see these shorts, and it's like, wow. I've seen this a million times. And you see people today, and you think, oh, my God. Look at that. That's Artie Bucco? Oh, my. You know, I shouldn't say that because it's a long time ago. They're old. And anyway. So I watched the trends, the shorts. Here's the one, and maybe you can help me. Are you as fascinated as I am by this spate of, and I don't even know why I'm on this, how to cook meat? And it's some guy, he goes, okay, here's how we do it. Freeze, jump cuts. Knife. Throws down a steak. Salt. Boom, boom. Cook. Throws it. Pan. Hot. Sizzling. This. Butter. The, rosemary bouquet garni kind of a thing. Boom. Slap. Cut. Boom. Bam. Bam. The other one says, here's how you make General Tso's chicken. And they have to throw it down. You have to hear the flap, the flop, the drop, the slam of the meat. Why? Because somebody did it once. Imagine James Beard or Graham Kerr or Julia Child throwing this. I mean, she had some fun with this. Don't you love trends? What are your favorite trends? Have you noticed the insipid and syrupy couple that does the food blogs where they're grinning to the point where they're going to... It's a Mark Wiens and Food Ranger takeoff. They want to be so happy that they're going to paralyze themselves with the grins because they're eating lamb on a pita bread in some place. And they can't believe it. They're amazed. And they're so excited. I'm so excited. And here we are. We're at the side of this, and we're going to try cow, whatever, fetlocks on pita. I'm so excited. And it's like, what is going on here? I get rid of them. 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 It's like, why do we have these people? Then we have the new one, my new favorite, and it's the organized crime. The secret code. You know what? He's a rat. You don't know about this life. I know about this life. You're a rat. He's a rat. You ratted him out. He's a rat. What do you got? Let's talk to this guy. Everybody's coming. You're not in the life. Yes, I was. You're not straightened out. He wasn't straightened out. He's not in the rat. You're a rat. He's a rat. He's a rat. He was, you were in the Genovese family. He's a rat. He's a liar. Meanwhile, they're going on, listen to this, they're on basically telling people how many people they've killed. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Let's talk about content here. Anybody have any problem with this? Well, it's not like he gave, misinformation. Well, apparently not, but am I watching this? I mean, we clipped them. Wait a minute. This is a secret organization. Did you ever hear the Chinese triads on there? No. Ever hear the Russian group? No. Ever hear the Albanians? No. Ever hear anybody else? No. Who are these people? This is the greatest. And I found myself listening, and it's just, it's so weird that I find myself captive. Or people with no personality. Hello. Today we're going to be talking to Neil deGrasse Tyson about black holes. Hi, Neil. I was like, what is this? Is this slow motion? What happened to what's the matter with my phone? What's the matter with this? This guy. So what is a black hole? You're kidding me. There's like 8 million black hole videos. Who is this? and yet I watch it for 10 minutes as I say to myself, who is this? What am I watching? I'll take that any day because they go, what? What is this? And then I see somebody, my new one? People who live off the grid. And then I get on these things where a guy says, I just got this piece of wood. He gets this piece of wood from the bottom of a swamp and he makes a table out of it. And I'm enthralled by it. That's just fascinating. Why not? Let me go back to the other guy. So what is an atom? Okay, forget. We'll get back to you in a moment. Let's go back to the other guy too. You're not. You're a rat. You're a rat. Okay, he's a rat. I want to combine them. I want to put the guy with the steak along with the rat and the boring guy on one show and have them all talk to each other. You're a rat. I'm not a rat. What? YouTube is the greatest conglomeration of stuff I have ever seen. Ever. I mean, just ever. I think it's some people are so naturally talented. Some shows are so good. And especially when you get Zoom interviews where the Zoom camera's here. It looks like Kilroy. He's at the bottom of the screen and nobody's there. That's what it's about. What shows do you love? Look at this, off the grid channels. Laura Floyd loves them. I love it. As Patrick says, I thought it was me. I like people who say, hi, I'm living in a van. Wow, here I am. Here's my stove. You've got a stove in your van? Yes. And she's putting in wood? You've got a wood stove in a van? Yes, of course. Then we've got this. They have this woman. This one. You should have seen the other day. This woman was butchering chickens and they warn you. And she's walking around covered in blood. Looked like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But it was brilliant. It's very, very respectful. I could watch that all day. And I'm wondering, this is great. And then this one, I've seen every Gore Vidal video there ever was. I'll see old SCTVs and then we'll get back. And then YouTube says, oh, you like this, huh? Well, what about that? And then we'll get this new version of, I don't know, Korean factories. I watched last night how they made candy. They don't say a word. It's the cleanest factories. Have you ever seen Japanese omelets? I don't even eat eggs, but I watch this. It's called tamagoyaki. Tamagoyaki. Have you seen this? The Japanese, tamagoyaki. It means grilled egg. Have you seen what the Japanese do with an egg? How they have these pans and they load them up and they keep building and you'll end up with an omelet that weighs like 10 pounds and it's perfectly square and symmetrical and it's then there's a fellow who makes the rice and he cuts the egg and he has the long hair and I'm fascinated by this. Fascinated. Soft white underbelly. Yes, I've seen it. Some of the most interesting people. Have you ever seen any interviews with the Whitaker family? And here's my compost toilet right next to the stove. Yes, I am. Let me tell you something. Since I was a kid, anybody who ever came to the house, the electrician, the plumber, my mother would say, go talk to him. And I'd love to say, what are you doing? And they would tell me. And I was fascinated. Just Absolutely fascinating. Now, let me go back. Another one too is, do you love new things? Here's something new. The world of food preparedness. My Patriot Supplies. Have you ever seen this? By the way, hit the more button. Hit the more button. I sent this to a friend of mine. I said, do this, preparedwithlionel.com. There's the link. And he said, oh, what is that? Prepper. I said, just look at this. Look how, I don't know what he thought. I don't know what he imagined. But the level of organization, the modular, the brilliance, the variety, the way the 25-year shelf life, 2,000 calories a day in these oxygen-absorbing pouches that are reusable. It's the most brilliant thing you've ever seen. And right now you can save $250 on a 3-month supply. I've got a friend of mine who has a garage filled with, you probably have to too, has the boat that they've never used. There's the bike they never use. Then there's this thing they don't know what it's from. It's Uncle Ed, and when he died, they got it. It's an Indian, and they got it. But nowhere do they have food stored and just purchased and just there in case of, God forbid, a variety of natural, unnatural, a host of calamities. Once it hits you and you say, oh my God, he's right, you're going to go to preparedwithlionel.com and get these $250 off the 3-month supply. This doesn't even need, I'm not selling anything. This isn't brain surgery. This is brilliant. This is, hello, you don't have this? Preparedwithlionel.com. There you go. I watch How Is It Made forever. I could watch assembly lines forever. And you have to watch the Japanese and the Korean. Nobody says a word. You should see the cleaning just to get in there. Hands, ultraviolet, this, the masks, the suits, There's a candy that I like. I'm sorry to say this. It's made with cane sugar and not corn syrup. It's made out of Kentucky. I forget the name of it. They're red. I'm addicted. I got to get away from them. I got to get away from them. I can't. And I'm not even a sweet tooth. There's something about this. I saw how they're made. Have you seen when they take candy and you put it into a roller? And you see the colors extrude and you see these brilliant people on a cold table? I can watch that taffy machine. Who is into, show of hands, who is into ASMR videos on machines, pasta extruding machines, taffy pulling machines and the like? It's incredible. Look at this, the pancake lady. Ever see Dump Cake? Did you ever see the Dump Cake lady? I love some of the commercials. Ever see Japanese humor? Fascinating. See? I love that. You see what you're doing? You see what you're doing? This is what's important. This is what's important. It's to find out something you never knew that was interesting just because it's interesting. You don't have to explain it. I don't have, a dog, but I can watch Dogumentary about the Cane Corso versus the Wolfhound and what they do. Fascinating. There's so much there. It is replete with so much information that is seemingly irrelevant, but I do not believe it is. I think it is, without a doubt, mucho critical. And I want to say one more thing, because I'm getting very hungry talking to you about all this food stuff. I want to talk to you about our dear friend and this wonderful product, MyPillow.com. MyPillow.com. Use promo code Lionel and receive a free gift. I was trying to explain why. And by the way, hit the more button. When you look at this on your phone, you don't see this. You got to see that more, but more than the greatest love. It's something that you got to see this. The biggest seller they've got now. I was going to say. I was explaining to somebody. I said, free gift is. Yeah, I know. I said, no. A gift is free. Yeah, I know. No. That's a tautology. What do you mean? No. A gift presumes it's free, so a free gift is redundant. And I had to go through this argument. Anyway, but it's a free gift. Go to mypillow.com, put in promo code Lionel, get a free gift. It's there. Or call 800-645-4965. Watch how fast they answer. Watch. And the biggest thing ever, the slipper. Whoever said, I've got an idea. I want a combination between a sock and a shoe. Wait a minute. You're onto something. Something you wear around the house. Maybe something that, you're onto something. And then, ta-da, the slipper. Somebody told me that in Hawaii, they call flip-flops slippers. I do not know this. I saw one last night. It was a woman who marries a Hawaiian man. And she says, things to do in Hawaii. Don't touch the animals. And whatever you do, clean up after yourself. I'm in that. I love that. Have you seen the couples who meet? This one fellow who meets the Italian woman. And he says, here I am. I'm asking my wife, we're going to go to this, what she thinks of Chef Boyardee. Angelina, what do you think? Hey, what is this? And they get, is this real? This sounds a little bit almost, hey, you gotta talk about it. This to me. Okay, all right. But I love that, though. There's one where this Chinese fellow, his Chinese American his grandfather is this profane old man. They go to Panda Express or they go here and there, and he eats this stuff and he likes certain things. How about the Afghanis who are eating fried chicken for the first time? If you believe this, I love that big, turbans and headgear and mustaches, and they use words like they have the translation. This is beyond heaven. This is the chance to meet the God. I mean, just like the most florid of descriptions. I love this. And then you have my favorite. They'll take young people, hip hoppers or urban kids, and they're supposedly listening to Bobby Gentry for the first time, and it's like that Simon Cowell. By the way, Simon Cowell, he doesn't look the same, does he? But I digress. All right, my friends, that's enough. I think we've spoken enough. It is always a pleasure to speak with you. Now, Mrs. L just put out a brand new email this morning. Are you on her list? She's got a certain list you don't want to be on. But anyway, this is her newsletter list. Please. There it is right now. And I'm telling you, you must go to the more section. All right? You must go to the more section. Hang on a minute. Let me go back here because we are synchronized. Let me try this again. It is so terrific and so good. There we go. Subscribe to this. It is the best newsletter with tips and information that you will not believe. So that is it. And you got to hit more. If you're listening to this later on, hit that more button. Gary Moore, great guitar player and a very famous 60s TV host. Remember Gary Moore? What's My Line? Or I've Got a Secret or whatever that was. All right, there's that. And also, if you want to hear, I just did a beautiful one right now on some stuff that, well, shall we say is a tad more adult. If you want the dark and seamy underbelly, go to my private channel and subscribe to that forthwith. In any event, we want to thank you. Oh, one more thing. Please subscribe. I give you all this stuff that's important here. Subscribe to Mrs. L's, where is it? Mrs. L. Here we go. Mrs. L on her website. Lens Warriors, also help out, donate, support. It's an important cause. Protecting our most vulnerable and most precious. All right, that's it. You have a wonderful day. Do not ever change. Thank you for being a part of this. Maintain your balance. Maintain your perspective. Increase your curiosity. And live as best as possible, one little step of the way as we go. Don't let everything get you. Balance. Balance is it. Okay? Good. All right, my friends, have a great and glorious day. Until tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel, 9 a.m. Eastern time. I remind you, as I end with this valedictory, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.